The globalists do not totally control the world. They're trying to get control of it. What the Western banking cartel and allied families represents is the most powerful combine or gang on the planet who have invested heavily in China, in Russia, and other countries in an attempt to fully control them. And then, of course, the other combines are just as corrupt. It's human nature. They're just not as far-looking. The Western combine picked up its ideology about 150 years ago out of the science of eugenics that was the public craze from about 1860 right through till World War II, when Hitler moved too quick with the program and only targeted certain groups. So at the final equation, it's a social Darwinistic system. But the globalists are masters at understanding gang, counter-gang, and trying to play different groups off against each other. And because they're finance oligarchs and have unlimited funds, because they have a monopoly on the power of the purse through fraud, they wish to debilitate societies so they can be consolidated. But once they've taken you over, then they can rebuild you in the image they want, which is even uglier than the debilitation phase. It is predators that rise to the top. In almost every case in history, it is a very rare phenomenon. Very rare phenomenon to have groups of good people get together under a codified stricture or structure so that manipulators can't get in and lower the, you could call it, constitutional shield. It is up to the weak, but also the strong, who are not avarice-filled and hyper-dominant. Because in my analysis, there are a lot of people who are even smarter and stronger and better looking and more virtuous, more creative, that do not seek power. You seek comfort, you seek security, you seek friendship, the hierarchy of needs, you attain your mate, you have children, you have grandchildren, and sure, you could make more money, you could become more powerful, but good people are competitive early on, and then after they've attained power, they realize it's pretty much empty, other than being a responsibility. And then it is through that responsibility of service so that your children have a future. And so your children can meet the children of other people's, and their grandchildren can meet their children, is the only reason good people take the field against evil. I'm 37 years old, and I've learned these things just the last decade. But these basic truths become so much stronger every day. All right, this is a short audio blog. I didn't feel like holding the iPhone up while I drove, so I'll just make it an audio blog. Get it up on the YouTube channel and up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. In closing, I just hope that those of you out there that are somewhat conscious but don't care, you think it's a virtue not to care about humanity, or you think that you're part of the winning team because you've bought into the system, or I see it to be more common where people just say, I don't care, so they think that gives them some type of shield against this stuff. This is a very virulent form of tyranny. It's super bad news. It's the modern version of every oppressive system we've seen in history amalgamated. And it was Aldous Huxley, who I guess in Brave New World revisited, and then some of his other writings I've read, he was part of the inner globalist system, genetic breeding program, one particular program in England with the upper intelligentsia aristocracy, the progenitors of the eugenics system. He said, we the elites have studied all the other forms of despotism and dictatorship and are creating a final revolution against humanity. that will end the human species as we know it and create a suboid servant class, if the elite even choose to keep those suboid clowns around for their entertainment. You need to think about that. You need to not just say, oh, this guy's crazy. Better go look it up. Because there's one thing these globalists talk about. There's one thing these globalists are obsessed with, and that's playing God. And you know, some days I wish that they were godlike. And by that, I wish that they weren't just delusional. Because if they were more intelligent and weren't just brutal controllers on power trips who are willing to exercise oppressive control, and they think that gives them a right to run everything. You know, I've used the analogy many times that cancer thinks that it's dominant, if it could have a consciousness. It races through the body. It doesn't follow the rules of the different tissue structures that work in concert together. A colony system of cells, a long genetic expression of a cross-clone splice program with the entire genetic history of the species. It's what a man and woman do. They create a genetic expression, sequenced, quasi-random splice of the entire genetic code, of the entire genetic history of the man and the woman, with an overlay of the female genetics, a third leg in the mitochondrial system that the globalists don't even understand yet. And I see how the controllers are allowing thousands of companies to cross-splice different families of creatures, insect with animal, insect animal with plant, vice versa. Putting in fungus genes, bacteria genes into cells, putting antibiotic marker systems into the cells just for testing alone to see if the trait took. I mean, that alone is just so devastatingly dangerous. And we already know it's spreading, the mutagenic systems. What the hell are the controllers doing? They run their mouths all day about how they want a world government to protect everybody. A world government to protect the population from nations developing super technologies that will destroy everybody. But then meanwhile, they're racing around, doling it out as fast as they can and handing it out. It's like giving a loaded hydrogen bomb to a 2-year-old. And it's their companies, it's their funding groups doing it. Meanwhile, they also have created 14 UN Rockefeller-backed seed vaults and animal genetic vaults with armed guards up at the Arctic Circle, and they've got a bunch of them all over the place. You can look them up. They know full damn well what they're doing. These people are self-destructive nihilists. And that's basic criminal psychology. They want to be caught. They're getting reckless. It may even be a subconscious expression. The biggest thing that brings down powerful people, successful people, is they can't believe their lives are so good. And they just can't believe they're succeeding so well. So they go cheat on their wife, or they start taking drugs, or they start, they buy a motorcycle, start driving around in traffic. And I guess there's that human trait to know that we were born out of a tectonic struggle just to survive. And so once humans aren't on the edge and absolutely challenged, then we cease to be the beautiful creatures we are, and we slouch towards Gomorrah. I think it was Victor Hugo that said, one of my favorite philosophers, was Victor Hugo. Let me paraphrase, I don't remember the exact quote, that adversity makes men, prosperity makes monsters. I'm a monster too. I'm a mere shadow of the frontiers people who were hard as nails that I'd come from on both sides of my family, right back to the Mayflower. But because I do come from really hardy, tough people, even though I'm slouching, I haven't slouched as far as many. And that isn't a eugenical statement, though in every system there's truth. There's a lot of truth to eugenics. But it was being poor from Europe, what would be seen as trash, that then expressed into the need to look for a better place, that nomadic trailblazing spirit that's seeking out new systems, new lands, new ideas that has given me what it takes to move forward today. A trailblaze in the media and systems of thought and understanding. But you could be black, you could be white, you could be Asian, you could be Hispanic. You know, there's those trailblazers in every variety. We are all one race. Just there's different varieties, but within each variety there are different endless combinations, similar to the other, but also different. And also beautiful. I want to lift up humanity. I want to lift up humanity very badly. All right, that's my audio blog in the noisy car, and I just noticed I had the microphone turned around the wrong way. But c'est la vie. We'll see you on the radio. God bless you all. Alex Jones reporting from Earthship, orbiting deep space, 2/3 the way out. Spiral arm. Milky Way galaxy.
You don't need me to tell you that humanity is in a deep crisis. Everyone can feel it. We know a tectonic struggle is now taking place between the forces of freedom and those who love darkness, bondage, and enslavement. Yes, my friends, evil is rising. But take heart. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Recently, New World Order operative Hillary Clinton admitted they're losing the info war.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
The globalists are scared. They've overreached. The future of the info war is in your hands. Join prisonplanet.tv. Download the thousands of special video reports, ebooks, and more, and get them out to everyone you know. Continue to spread the word about the broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and every other globalist propaganda platform. We are going to use their system against them. The info war now goes into high gear. No one can deny that our republic, in fact, our entire world, is at a historic crossroads right now. We work very hard here at Infowars.com to bring you the news and latest information in the fight for liberty worldwide. And because our message is resonating across the world, because we've already had such a huge effect, we know that it is our responsibility to intensify our resistance against the globalist 110%. I am going to do whatever I can to up our game in the fight against tyrants to reach even more people. I am asking you to join us and to be part of our fight and to support the work we're doing at prisonplanet.tv and to spread the word, not just about the weeknight 30-minute condensed, focused, hard-hitting newscast, but special reports we're going to do multiple times a week. I am so excited about this, and I hope that you share our excitement and that you will help us get the word out about prisonplanet.tv, InfoWars Nightly News, and InfoWars Special Reports at 7 p.m. Central every weeknight. But whatever you do, spread the message that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Free humanity is rising against tyranny.